Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, let's talk about another low investment and easy strategy that is also very profitable as more people get to the end game of the league. Building Alva's temple can be very tedious and confusing. I'll explain how to do it efficiently, and hopefully it will help you understand this mechanic. First, we'll talk about how this strategy will make you a lot of currency. We're building Mi's temple with the two sought-after rooms that are the Locust of Corruption and Doriani's Institute. Within the Locust of Corruption room, you can double corrupt in items, and with the right combination, you can hit items that will sell for hundreds of divines. And so this room will always be in demand as more people are looking for those sought-after double corrupted eunuchs. The Doriani's Institute lets you double corrupted a gem with a higher success rate to get the rare +1 gem level, but also could your gem. It does not sell for as much as the Locust room, but it's still good profit. And if you get the two rooms together, you can charge a premium for it. We're using the Incursion Scarab of Timeline to get more temples because, as it says here, the final architect slain in area will drop an itemized temple. The itemized temples will have a chance for the Locus of Corruption and Doriani's Institute as long as you have them in the temple at any tiers. At the Alva's Resort, the price for Locus of Corruption and Doriani's room usually fluctuate because it's also affected by the Scarab price. If the Timeline Scarab is more expensive, the room would also be more expensive, so don't worry about the margin too much as you'll make currency with this strategy. Next, let's talk about how I build my temple. So there are two strategies to run this with 3 temples per map versus 4 temples per maps. I'll briefly explain both strategy and what strategy I choose to run with. The key to both strategy is this artifacts of the Val nodes here. If you allocate this node, you will always get 4 incursions per map, and you can finish building the temple in 3 maps. If you unallocate the node, you will have only 3 incursions per map, and you can only finish building the temple in 4 maps. So why wouldn't you take the node? Well, simply put, it's because of how the Incursion Scarab of the timeline works. Every time you kill the final architect of the map, you can drop an itemized temple, and the itemized temple depends on the room you have unlocked. Usually, you haven't unlocked any good rooms in the first few incursion yet, and you can't have the same room twice in a map. That means to optimize your chance of getting the Locus of Corruption, you want to use the Timeline Scarab when your temple is more developed with more rooms unlocked, and do it in more maps. And hopefully one of those rooms have the Locust room unlock even at a lower tier. So to run it optimally for the best chance of getting the Locus of Corruption, you would do something like this. First, unallocate the artifact of the Val nodes. Second, take out the Incursion Scarab of the timeline and run the first 2 incursion in the map and don't complete the 3rd one. Here, we complete the 1st and 2nd incursion on the 1st map. Remember to skip the 3rd incursion. Then you put the Timeline Scarab back in and finish the other 4 maps, getting your itemized temple at 5 out of 12, 8 out of 12, 11 out of 12, and 12 out of 12 incursion, which translate to 4 itemized temple in a more well-developed temple, and therefore more chance for Locus of Corruption room. So that's briefly how you run and optimize Alva's itemized temple run. Now, let's talk about how to build your temple optimally. Your only goal when building the temple is to optimize your chance of getting Locus of Corruption and Doriani's Institute. So every time you look at the layout, you'll only focus as whether or not there is a Locust or a Doriani's room in the temple. So that leaves us with 2 choices. First, if you do not have a Locust or Doriani's room in the temple, like the layout here, you want to keep all your room under level 3, which means you're killing the lower Val architects every time, unless you see options to build one of the Locust or Doriani's room. The other choices is when your layout have a locus or a Doriani's room, or you can build one like this layout here. Then for the rest of the incursion, you want to try and upgrade as many room to level 3 as possible. This will give you more chance to land on the locus or Doriani's room to upgrade it to level 3. Remember, beside the itemized temple, you also need to upgrade the room to level 3 and connect it with the rest of the temple to actually sell it. Okay, so let's get to my strategy. As usual, let me quickly show you the Atlas tree. You can see over here, I am taking the artifacts of the Vol node. That is because I don't want to think too much when I'm mapping, and in my experience, the difference is minimal. Now the rest of the tree is a standard destructive place tree. I'm taking all these map drop chances and all the Scarab nodes. I'm taking ritual up to 80% chance to spawn 4 rituals, and blocking the few bad Scarab nodes here to help increase the ritual spawn chance to 92%. Ritual at 92% chance to spawn is good enough because you get 8% base chance from the map. I'm taking these Scarab nodes because we're killing the boss near the end, and with our setup, they drop some really nice Scarabs. Anyway, this is a pretty optimal tree, but you're welcome to swap a few points around. Next, let's discuss the Scarab's choices and the map. I'm running this strategy on Silo map because Silo is great for destructive play. The map is very linear, which make it easy to find all the incursion, and the boss has 3 phases, so you can kill the other bosses that Maven summon. Portal out, then the next map. You can do the Maven Witness again. For the Scarabs, the only mandatory choice is Incursion Scarab of the timeline, which I run on every maps because I don't want to swap it around to optimize the itemized temple. By optimizing the strategy with 3 incursion per map, you will get 1 temple and 4 itemized temple every 5 maps, and by running 4 incursion per map, you will get 2 temples and 6 itemized temple every 6 maps. So you'll get more temples overall. Running your own temple is very profitable as well when you get the Crucible of Flames in the boss room. This is another option to try and get because Crucible of Flames drop gloves with the temple mods, and they can sell for a big profit because recombinators are popular this league. The Apex can drop Ambition Aspect, and you can easily sell them for 4 divines. Do note that the itemized temple has the area level at level 1, so you should not run the Crucible of Flame or boss room there. For my other 4 Scarabs, I'm running 2 Incursion Scarab of Champions, 1 Scarab of Monstrous Lineage, and 1 Incursion Scarab of Invasion. This setup will provide a lot of density in the incursion with many magic packs, so you don't have to worry about time in the incursion, and provides a lot of experience as well. I'm running the default quantity in the map device. So for this strategy, I'm running 51 maps. First, let me show you a sample run and how I build my temple in 3 maps. So in my first incursion, I got lucky and landed on the gem room with upgrade. I'm going to upgrade the gem room here. When you're choosing which path to open, my advice is to prioritize rooms that are unconnected. I find building temples very fun, and with the Scarab, it is now also very profitable as well, so that's a win-win for me. With my Scarab setup, you do get a lot of experience as well, and nothing is rippy in this mechanic beside the Vol Merchant. I actually level up from 92 to 95 despite dying many times because I'm playing a squishy build. Now, even though we have the gem room, my goal is always to find the locus room, so from now on, we are killing the lower architect until I can find a locus room. You can hover over the room you want to connect to, and it will highlight the path to open. Once inside the Incursion, you can also press V to open the league mechanic and look at the path there as well. The play here is the same. We keep killing the lower architect, making as many level 2 rooms as possible, so the locust room have more chance to appear in one of those rooms. There's not much thinking or planning if you just stick to a few simple rules like what I'm doing. No locust room here, so we keep following our plan. In this case, killing any architect is good since they won't upgrade to level 3. With the timeline Scarab, you don't even need the gem or Locust's room at level 3. That's why prioritize getting both of those rooms even at level 1 is a good plan. And just like that, we get our Doriani's room from the Scarab. So we got lucky in the next map here as we get the Locust's room and it's open. So I'll do the Locust's room, and for the rest of the map, we'll look to upgrade all the room to level 3. As you can see, we actually got the Shrine's room here, and it's between both our gem and Locust room. This is the ideal situation because it will raise our chance to get a temple with both Locust and Doriani's by a lot. The Scarab will drop the temple's room at any random level, and if we have the shrine connected to both room, which I'm going to try to do that, then we would only need those room at level 2, and the shrine will upgrade it to level 3. Same play here. We are upgrading as many room to level 3 as possible and hoping we'll land in our Locust or Doriani's room. Once your temple is more developed, it's usually easier to make choices and you can go on autopilot. Since we're running the 4 Incursion nodes by the second map, your temple should be well developed already. We're killing the upper architect, and look at that shrine connecting beautifully to both our rooms. We're hoping for a double Locust and Doriani's room drop after this. And that's how you set up your temple. Well, unlucky this time, but you'll run into this more often than not. Let's quickly show some highlights from my maps, then we'll get to the profit calculation. Hey guys, welcome back. So let's discuss the revenue. Now I have 8 double rooms over here, so technically the revenue would be higher than what's Wealthy Exile give us, but for the sake of simplicity, let's go with Wealthy Exile. And the total revenue from our temple is 46 divines. Next, I have filtered the currency tab, and we have 6.8 divines profit here. Our strategy do target the scarab, and you can see we get a lot of good scarabs here for a total of 5.8 divines. Since we're doing destructive play, you'll get some nice awakened gems sometimes, and they can sell for a lot more than what I have here, which is only 3.5 divines. We dropped 2 Valdo's boxes, which is the standard in my experience, 2.4 divines here. I filtered the tier 17 Conquerors and Shapers maps here, and they are 3.6 divines. We have Ritual in our map, so you can get some big omen drops. I did not, so I only have 1.3 divines here. So the total revenue comes out to be 72 divines. Very nice. Next, let's talk about the profit calculation. The majority of our cost is from the Incursion Scarab of Timelines at 25 chaos each, and the total is 1275 chaos, or 9.3 divines. We ran 51 silo maps, and they're about 14 chaos each with rejects, so the total is 5.2 divines there. The rest of the scarabs are all cheap and average to be 1.4 chaos each, so that's about 5.6 chaos per map, and the total will be roughly 2 divines. That leaves the total cost to be 16.5 divines. And our net profit comes out to be 72 minus 16.5 divines, which is 55.5 divines. For how easy this strategy is to set up and run, I think this profit is quite impressive. And with that, we have come to the end of the video. I hope you'll enjoy this strategy, and please do comments if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this content. See you in the next video soon.